So let me take you back to my days as a manager and programmer in a bustling department in the US. I was the go to person for everything: programming, managing projects, creating timelines, and answering questions from my team. I loved it. But then everything changed. The company I worked for decided to consolidate our programming departments in the US and the UK. Sounds fancy, right? But here's the kicker: they appointed a new boss who decided that only the managers in the UK would oversee the US programmers. Just like that, I was told to drop my management duties and focus solely on programming. And guess what? My paycheck didn't change. Lucky me, right? Now, there was a 6 hour time difference between the US and the UK. That meant for a good chunk of the day, my old team was left without guidance. They could either wait for their new UK manager to clock in or come to me for immediate help. Naturally, most of them chose to come to me. I mean, why wait when I was right there? But as you can imagine, this didn't sit well with the new UK managers. They started complaining to our higher ups. Apparently, it was a huge deal that the US staff still sought my assistance. From their perspective, it looked as if they weren't leading effectively. So, my boss called me in for a chat. She said, "I need you to stop helping your old team. They should go through their new manager." At that moment, something clicked. I thought, okay, time for a little malicious compliance. I decided to follow her orders to the letter, but with a twist. When my old staff came to me with questions, I simply smiled and said, "I'm sorry, but I've been instructed not to help you anymore. You'll need to ask your new UK manager." I could see the confusion on their faces. They were used to my immediate assistance, and now they were being told to wait. And let me tell you, they didn't hold back. They started flooding their UK bosses with questions, problems, and requests, only to end up waiting for answers that often came a day or two later. It was a disaster. Deadlines began to slip, projects got delayed, and I watched it all unfold like a slow-motion train wreck. Within 2 weeks, it became painfully clear that this new system wasn't working. The US team was missing deadlines left and right, and the UK managers were scrambling to explain why their team was falling behind. It was a perfect storm of miscommunication and time zone mishaps. As the weeks went by, the pressure mounted. My boss and the UK managers had to face the consequences of their decision. And just like I had predicted from the start, they realized that having a manager in the US was not just beneficial, it was essential. Finally, my boss came to me and asked, "Would you like to step back into a management role?" I paused for a moment, weighing my options. After all this chaos, I had to be honest. I'm really happy just programming. I don't need the extra workload. To my surprise, they ended up giving me a raise to entice me back to management. I couldn't believe it. I got to keep programming and became a manager again, this time with a clear understanding of the necessity for support in both time zones. So, here's where I leave you with a thought. Sometimes, following the rules can lead to unexpected chaos. Have you ever found yourself in a similar situation where sticking to the rules turned into a clever strategy? Let me know in the comments below.